A very long time ago. Yeah, it's actually been really long. One of my Instagram followers told me to make a poster with a dragon. Dragons, mythical creatures from ancient era, which supposedly existed in many mythology. They were strong, fierce, used to blow fire out of their mouth, flew high in the skies. Wait, my bad. That's a pteranodon. This is a dragon. So, main thing is, yeah, we had to make a poster with a dragon, a movie poster. I'm your host, your tutor, and this is Pixel Alchemy, where each pixel tells its own story. Coming back to the video, the movie itself needed a mythical name, and after searching and taking inspiration for a while, I came up with Ashen Fall. I don't know where did that come from, but yeah, it sounded cool and obviously mythical, as we wanted. One of my friends told me that the hardest part in doing something is not how you gonna do, it's more about what you gonna do. And here, what part was already clear, at least for the title. So let's get into it. Well, we would need a good font for it, right? So I searched for a few fonts which would match the vibe and just put them all in one place. It wasn't that hard actually to find such fonts, but none of them seemed fully accurate to it. So I knew that I had to make a few modifications, but first let's finalize our font. I chose 6 fonts which seemed even a bit suitable, and then started discarding one by one, which wasn't up to the level. I knew I had to make a few modifications, so I chose 2 elements, a dragon and a sword. I converted the text layer to shape and then used the direct selection tool to carve a dragon on top of N and a sword kind of shape in F. I had to apply a few more effects to make it actually look like a movie title. My favorite effect, Bevel and Emboss, I applied it and then came texture, and after all this, I wanted the title to look a bit rusty and swordy, also fiery. So I used gradient map and chose the color yellow, red and such. And after all the adjustments, here we had the complete title, Ashen Fall. Looks great, doesn't it, huh? Now that our font is ready, we have to make a blueprint for the poster. And don't mind my drawing, huh? So from the list of our ingredients, one thing is clear. We need rocks. A lot of rocks. Let's go and collect them. Rocks. We need a lot of rocks. Might ender our socks. All we need is rocks. Then sky, ground and dragon. It's quite natural to see a lot of dragons around us. Just kidding. Let's make one of our own. I used Gemini, Leonardo, ChatGPT and whatever came in handy. I think I liked the Leonardo one the most. I even named him Draco. Just kidding. Potter. Now that everything is in our hand, let's place them. I had to first cut them out and place them one by one. Let's fast forward it. And here is the basic blueprint for our poster. First, I distorted the surface to match the perspective and applied a texture with the same perspective, and then blended it to take away the bright parts of it using blend if. We needed to have a lava texture for the ground, because you know the dragon lived there, so I used gradient map to make a lava texture using again red and yellow. It was really helpful, and with the help of blendif, it was so good, but it needed a few more adjustments which I did later on. I then placed a big mountain behind and warped it so it can match the view. I needed a tone for overall look, so I used curves to increase contrast and adjust lighting. In clouds, I played with the color balance, and after that, I thought one thing was still lacking or missing, and it was the glow. I used hue saturation adjustment to make some highlights and again used blend-if to blend it. You might have already understood how much I loved blend-if. Now for the mountain, all it needed was blending it to the background. I chose a dark night kind of background with ground and mountain glowing, so I first adjusted the lighting using curves, then color balance to match the tone, and then again hue saturation to make highlights on it from the ground. Now again some lava on the mountain. Yeah, lots of lava. And a few more. 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 Enough. Now, more highlights from these lava. We also need shadows. And after lots of adjustment to mountain and a few more to the ground, we had this masterpiece. Obviously it's not completed. While I was working on this, I kept wondering, why are dragons always angry? Like, dude, you've got wings, fire breath, centuries of free time, and zero rent to pay. What's the issue? Maybe it's because people won't leave them alone. Every single story has that one human thinking, yeah, let me just rob the flying flamethrower with more swings. Worse than girls. And somehow they're shocked when it ends with a barbecue. But honestly, not all dragons are villains. In Chinese legends, they are bringers of rain, harvest, luck, literal sky deities. Meanwhile, in Western myths, they are like, surprise, I've torched your castle and kidnapped your princess, now come and try to fight me so that I can eat you like a snack. Talk about completely different PR teams. And yet, both sides kinda agree, they are powerful, ancient, untouchable, something humanity can't control. So it turns them into stories instead. Maybe that's what myths are, our excuses for the things we can't conquer. I wanted to have a symbol for this world, maybe to represent the dragons or something way beyond. I first tried making a symbol from night side, so I chose silence, freedom, fire, then to counter it, darkness and chaos. So we got two combinations, S and F, and also C and D. I tried making two different symbols, and obviously I chose the chaos one because I am chaotic myself. Anyway, small confession. The shows become 10x better with dragons in it. Game of Thrones already too goated, but Dragon's Roar brought a different charm to them. House of the Dragon? Dragon is in the name. The Hobbit? Smaug literally roasted people and their self-esteem. Even Shrek, she's dating a donkey, and somehow we all accepted it. But can someone tell me how they made babies? Cause there's commitment. There's also how to train your dragon. Honestly, Toothless is the reason everyone suddenly wanted a pet dragon. He's adorable until you realize he's basically a flying cat that can level a city block. Still want one? Yeah, me too. And then there's folklore that doesn't even make sense. Some medieval text says dragons smell so bad they can kill a man instantly. Imagine that. Years of training to slay a dragon, and then you just faint from the stench. Oh, and a fun fact. In Norse mythology, there's this dragon called Niogr, who literally chews on the root of the world tree. Like, bro, out of all the things in the universe, you pick the roots of the existence as your snack? Someone get in therapy. And a sandwich. But when you think about it, dragons are the perfect metaphor for everything we fear and desire at once. They hoard gold because we crave it. They breathe fire because we destroy what we love. They sleep for centuries because, honestly, same, I'm myself a sleepyhead, so what can I say? You ever notice that how every culture gives them a different shape? Asian dragons glide like water, no wings, just grace. European ones, they're just like overgrown bats with anger issues. And maybe that's why I wanted Ashen Fall to feel ancient. Not just a poster, but a portal. like it belonged to a forgotten legend we accidentally rediscovered, a place where the world once ended and the dragons decided it wasn't done yet. In fact, Ashen Fall kinda came from that vibe. You know, a world burned to ash, ruled by silence, and then something ancient wakes up, pissed off that humans built cities on top of its snap spot. I mean, fair. I would burn stuff too if someone built Starbucks over my cave. Imagine it. Somewhere in the silence, a heartbeat older than the time itself exists. That's the word I wanted this poster to whisper about. And maybe that's what I love about creating art. You don't just design things, you resurrect them. A few layers, some light, a splash of orange, and suddenly you've got a living, breathing dragon staring back at you. Not bad for a night fueled by coffee and chaos. You know, dragons in legend guard treasures. But for me, it's probably guarding my PSD files from crashing. Different kinds of fire, but the same level of danger. Oh, and a quick fun fact before we finish. The word dragon actually came from the Greek drakon, meaning to see clearly. So technically dragons were creatures of vision. Kinda poetic that I'm making one through Photoshop layers, huh? Alright, our fairy boy is almost ready, and somewhere between all these pixels, a story waiting to breathe. Now after putting and adjusting the font, adding some haze, some more texts, I also tried adding the rain effect using noise, and after a final camera raw, we got this. Amazing, isn't it? Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, then put a like on it and subscribe us for more tutorials with entertainment. Until next time.